Edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim-flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Friday. It's our favorite day of the week, and we're at one of our favorite places, missing one of our favorite people. We're at Gulfstream Park, 10 Palms Restaurant, and boy, do we have a action-packed, celebrity-filled edition of the Lunchbox today. Again, Defo is off in AC. We have heard from him. He is doing, well, we don't know if he's doing well. He's alive. We don't know his financial condition.
He's doing horrendous financially, but he's actually doing well. I spoke on the phone with him, and he had one of the toughest beats, and we'll try not to be too gambling yet because we have two
all right,
people.
well, before we get into
Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah, he
he
celebrated.
goes there once every couple months.
He celebrated his birthday. And without further ado, we've got guest co-hosts in the house today. The lovely and talented Gia.
Hi.
You know her from radio, stage, screen, voiceover work, cartoons in Japan, worldwide.
I'm big in Japan.
She is big in Japan.
You know
And
the voice.
He's not big in Japan, but
No.
he's huge in dolphins and sports circles.
North Bay Village. I can't walk around that town.
And he is
Police stop me.
North Bay Village resident. Chris Perkins, again, longtime sports journalist, news writer at one point, but he's back where he belongs, covering the Dolphins for the South Florida Sun Sentinel. That was my old stomping grounds and beat. But now look at me. I am here at 10 Palms. We are being feeded with food and drink on a Friday. And welcome and thanks for coming. Gia, how are you doing and what's happening in your world?
I'm fantastic. I'm pretending to my friends and family that I'm attempting to plan a wedding.
Oh, nice.
It's going horribly.
Your own.
Yes, my
This
own
is your
wedding.
own.
I am engaged.
You and the famous Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
How long have you been together?
It's like 5.5 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
definitely spit or get off the pot time.
100%. Are you kidding me? The
So did you
threats were
pressure
coming
him?
in by the hour. No, I didn't do like an ultimatum, like per se, but it was every couple of months, when another set of friends who had been together for shorter periods of time than us were getting engaged and then married.
yeah.
Sometimes just a long, hard stare can say a lot more than actual words.
So what's the date? Do you have a date?
We have no date.
You
We
have no date.
At
It's-
first, the
oh,
date
it's-
is flip-flopped many a time. At first, it was going to be September. Then it went to February of 24. Then it's now possibly in April. But I know that May is out. It's considered the bad luck month to get married.
Is it? I did not
It
know
is.
that.
It's
Oh,
funny.
wow.
Well, you know my wedding story. You know the day and the date I got married, right?
Like September 10th.
No.
2001.
December 7th, day of infamy.
Oh,
man. It was doomed from the start, but
wow.
we're still friends and we have a lovely daughter.
You
but
do. And
yeah.
you guys are really good friends. It's
Yeah.
like a beautiful thing to see. Like if I ever, God forbid, get divorced, I would hope that I would have a relationship the way that you do with your ex-wife.
No,
So, Gia,
well,
let me ask you
Yeah.
this, not to drive the show into a ditch, but
We're always in the ditch. You know
Right,
that,
I know,
Perkins.
I know.
You
we're
that.
just always trying to climb
I
out.
know.
holes.
I'll try to be a winch and a ditch dragger, I guess, ditch driver.
Drag
Did
me
you-
out.
So I was at a Dolphins game one day, and some women were talking, and they were talking about getting engaged and popping the question,
Yeah.
and they were saying never get married on a big day like Mother's Day or Father's
I
Day,
would never.
because you'll always remember that day. If you get a divorce, you'll always have a bad memory of that day. But do you like? I wouldn't get married on a holiday anyway, like a July 4th or a
No, I find
Easter.
it to be.
Those are Sundays. But
I find it to be in bad taste. I recently went to a wedding, a destination wedding,
Ooh.
out of the country over Easter week in a very
Ooh.
Catholic country. It was a fortune of money.
wow.
And
No,
it
and
was just
guests don't like that because then there's less to spend on the gifts, the wedding gifts. And
well.
people
This
say,
is also by
I
the
already
way.
spent $3,000 to
Right.
have the wedding to
Exactly.
attend.
Yeah.
Well,
Now I got to shout out more for going on a registry.
See, that has actually been a new discussion. Do you pay for a wedding do you give a gift for a wedding when it's a destination wedding?
Yeah.
When it's not like, we're going to AC, let's travel there, but we're going to somewhere in Latin America.
Right.
I'm spending thousands of dollars on the flights, the hotel. I have to get a dress, my hair, blah, 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 not including your partner. Do I give you an additional gift? No, I'm sorry, but no.
It depends on how close of a friend it is and whether you want to maintain the
Not that
friendship.
And whether you have a 6-digit income.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
Let's,
money matters.
Look, inflation is very real these
Yeah,
days.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I
So-
understand that the bride and groom saved a lot of money by going, out of the country to do this.
But your guests don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is really kind of new ground for the Lunchbox.
I didn't mean for
No,
this to
no,
go
this
there.
is great. This is
great.
why we had you
Yeah.
on because I don't know what the chat line is saying. I'm sure Jim Sarney is very thrilled to have a woman and a woman's perspective on the show
estrogen
because he always
perspective.
kind of rags on us. And here we are. We're talking about weddings, and Lubie's had a couple of them.
I have had two.
You've been married twice?
I'm on my second marriage. We're still married, and we got a house together. So she's now totally stuck with me.
And-
The first wedding was actually with my ex-wife. Was on a holiday weekend, for the
Really?
reason of we did it on a Sunday, and it was Memorial Day weekend. It wasn't 4th of July, so it wasn't one of the big travel
Yeah.
weekends. People didn't complain about that. People were happy because they had the Monday off, so it was cheaper for us having it on a Sunday. But they weren't pissed because they were mostly off on a Monday. We did tons of research on it. My wife this time, COVID totally got in our way. It was supposed to be December 2021. And we figured, COVID will be done by
Yeah,
then.
100%.
My mom laughed at me. So it got moved to March of 2022. And went from a big wedding to a place for a big wedding with small group. Went from 170 people
and
to
that was in
75.
Homestead, Florida.
That was in Homestead,
So
yeah.
A lot
that's
of people
So
do
it
that
felt
there.
like a destination. I did do the destination wedding for a friend where he lives in LA, but she's from New York and he's from here. So it was pretty much a destination. I feel good about myself then because we all spent a crap load of money to go out to California, and I still gave somewhat of a gift. I didn't give the gift I would normally give.
Yeah.
But I gave, they had the things now with the honey, whatever, where you can buy a trip or buy a vacuum cleaner or whatever the hell. So we did that. But I can see all parts of it.
Well,
from every
I
angle,
want
to
to
be
pivot
honest.
though, and I want to put the hot seat Perkins in the
this
hot
man.
seat because you've
Oh,
been
God.
with a particular person
For a while.
long
For
period
a
of
while,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into specifics, but I think
Well,
it's
I
been like
do. How many years?
Oh, God. 7.5.
And
Okay.
you're not engaged.
No.
Oh, you're not even engaged. Oh, good for you, Bert.
No.
they have a very mature relationship
yeah.
where they're
He
comfortable.
hates me now.
Do
Look
you
at this look she's giving
Wow.
me. It's like,
You would have no perk left to
man, I say I got to go drink with Nathaniel again. It's just like, he's had this
You
look.
already have.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
I know. I
this decision.
can because now I want to talk about the look because I'm getting the look.
man.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
it says more than words.
So
Yeah.
look, so you've gotten the first step out of the way, which is the whole engagement and the saying, yes.
Where did he propose, by the way?
In our bedroom on Christmas Eve, I was getting out of the shower. I was dripping
nice.
wet. I'm not one of those women that looks cute when they're soaking wet. Like I look like some kind of a dog
But
that
you-
had been
okay,
forgotten about in a hurricane.
You've been together a little bit by then, right?
So
So
Yeah.
we talked about it because he's met my wife now and knows my wife well. She's a control freak. So from the early days of our dating, she gave me and she knows me. I can be cheap. So she gave me stipulations on ring.
Yeah.
She gave me stipulations
that.
on how she had to look
Yeah.
love that.
for an engagement.
Yeah.
Photographer of some kind had to be there.
she's type A.
She's
Wow.
she's psychotic, my wife, but
Yeah.
it worked. She knows me. I wouldn't have done any of these things.
Hey,
Right.
So you didn't do any of that with your now fiance.
I gave him suggestions for rings, which he did not follow. This is what I'm like. My ring is beautiful, but
I'm
it's
definitely
nothing
getting
like what I
drunk with him
wanted.
again. I love this story.
And how do you tell? I remember like he hugged me afterwards, and I'm like holding the ring up behind it, and I was like, oh,
Right,
he
right,
couldn't
right.
see my face.
Well,
She's like, is it too late?
like, guys,
Can I give him a maybe?
I called my mother. I was like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, say nothing. You got what you wanted. Shut up.
Say,
so me and you share something in common in that Michelle, when I proposed to her, it did not go as planned, and she also was dripping wet out of a shower because we were in Lake Tahoe, California.
Ooh, love
Great
it there.
place.
My plan was this: I had rented a evening sunset
okay, you
boat
did like a whole
ride.
thing. Good for
I
you.
was gonna get down on the knee at sunset, Lake Tahoe, on the lake,
It's
in the
beautiful.
boat.
Beautiful.
Well, what happened was we were out at the pool during the daytime, and we were getting ready for the evening She went up to the room to take a shower. It was at Lake Tahoe and it had a
You were
little casino.
gambling.
I
You were
was at
gambling.
the,
You were gambling.
blackjack
Free
table.
Oh
drinks.
no!
Yeah.
What happened next?
I come up to the room and I find Michelle is like out of the shower, wrapped in towels and like bawling.
Oh
Because
no!
she-
Oh no! You found the ring.
She found the ring. She went through
Are you
the
serious?
luggage trying to allegedly find
Oh,
something that she needed in
no.
her toiletries
Oh,
because we had
no.
just come to that
Oh yeah,
hotel.
I bet that's exactly what it was.
And she found the ring, opened it, saw it,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
I
that's
just
how
was
it's done.
like,
yeah.
okay, would you marry me?
Right.
And
Wow.
and it saved me the expense of the boat
Oh,
ride, so that was good.
Man.
That's actually a really cute story.
That is.
So
I have a friend of mine who, I just got back from Paris, and he was telling me that his plan was to propose to his wife at the top of the Eiffel Tower. What he didn't know is they have metal detectors there.
Exactly.
So he has to
no.
hide the ring so that he can't tell them and he can't tell his wife. And so he said he had to try to hide. He successfully hid the ring and got through the metal detector somehow. But it's the stuff you don't plan for in these proposals.
stymied by security.
Yeah.
That is
Really
something
funny.
you don't really think about. All right, we're at Gulfstream Park. They have live racing here today,
Yes,
and
sir.
any day that there's live racing, and it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this and every week through the summer meet. You're going to be able to come up right here to 10 Palms, and it's a fantastic place. I mean,
It's my first time here. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Mine too. I agree.
It's a beautiful
Incredible.
place to spend a day of eating, drinking, maybe catching up with old friends, and if you happen to enjoy placing a wager or two, they have live horse racing. They also have simulcasts from around the country. We're in the summer season next week already. I can't believe this. When Defo is back, Saratoga
Toga.
opens next
Oh.
week. So we're going to be all giddy about the summer racing season in Saratoga, but they also have the races here. We're going to continue with our 10 Palms Sunday brunch contest all year long. Joe Beja, the great director of hospitality here at Gulfstream.
That's an understatement.
He is not here this week. Both him and Defo, they're not away on vacation together, but
No.
Joe B is on a family vacation. He's been posting on Facebook. He took his mom, God bless him, it's a family trip. For some reason, the mom wanted to go to Graceland and Elvis.
I've always
Oh.
wanted to go there.
Hey,
Don't
she
laugh at that. That's been Branson,
Wow.
Missouri, and Graceland
Well,
have been dreams of mine to
He's
visit.
doing the
Wow.
Tennessee trip. They started in Memphis with Graceland,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now they're in Nashville,
I
and
like
they're
both
doing
those cities.
all kinds
That's
of
a nice trip.
very
I love-
touristy things. And he's been Joe B. We've been following your exploits on Facebook, and it exhausts me just reading about it because I couldn't do half
Oh,
the things.
I hope you went. I hope you
day.
made it to Dollywood. That's a real great
Hollywood
experience.
is also in
Yeah, yeah.
Tennessee.
Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, this is real Americana that the elitist Mayo would usually turn his nose up. But
Shame on you.
I do. There is some really good food in both Memphis and
Very, very good
Nashville,
food.
and he's been hitting it. He went
Yeah.
to, I think, the what's the one of the famous hot chicken places, Hattie B's or
Yes.
something like
Yeah,
that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nashville.
So that is Joe B. will be back next week along with Defo, and we'll be welcoming the start of Saratoga along with continuing racing here at Gulfstream Park. And again, the menu has been upgraded, and I don't know, you guys put in your orders. We'll see, and we'll describe the food when it gets here. Meanwhile, I think it's a good time to get into our weekly contest. And for you, those of you out there and here who don't know, every week when we're here, we give away a pair of Sunday brunch buffet vouchers. It's a $50 plus value because you and a guest, if you win the contest, will come here on a Sunday. And it's a great deal because you get a full buffet with the omelet station, pasta, the
Breakfast and lunch items. Yeah.
breakfast, lunch items, the carvery with the
Well, the baked goods
ham,
alone
turkey,
is amazing.
the baked goods, and of course they have the pile of raw bar stuff, shrimp, and sometimes they have oysters out
Yep.
there.
Oh, I love
It's a
that.
great buffet, and unlike a lot of buffets around where they kick you out after 90 minutes or 2 hours, here you
They
can
don't
lounge, you can hang out all day. They
Nice.
open up at 11:30, and then
Here
you
we
can
go.
hang out, get your whatever you want, and the contest comes included with
Tax
a
and
free-
tip and mimosa.
tax,
Those are
gratuity
the onion
included,
rings?
and a mimosa.
We were trying
Oh,
to
now
tell
we've
you.
got the first dishes coming.
Oh,
That's
man.
the onion ring
Yeah,
tower,
they
the
made-
deconstructed
Beautiful.
onion soup, which I love this dish, and
My
chicken wings,
goodness.
lemon pepper wings.
Yeah.
We've got some plates here. I'm going to be a good guest, and I'm going to start the contest. Lubie,
Yes, I'm ready.
you know how it works.
I do.
I'm going to read a series of questions, and the answer is a restaurant.
Yes.
And then if you get the restaurant part, then you're going to have to pick a number between 1 and 10 because we make you handicap the races here. The feature race for this week's contest is tomorrow's 10th race. Is it the 10th race? Hold on a second. I got to get my reading glasses on here. It is actually going to be the why can't I see it? This week's got the 8th race.
It'll be the 8th here at Gulfstream Park.
8th race tomorrow at Gulfstream Park.
To repair
10-horse field. So all you got to do is give me the restaurant answer, a number between 1 and 10, and email it to mikemayoeats@gmail.com by when, Lubie?
Tomorrow at 12, not 12:01, not 12:15.
Noon in the
12
afternoon.
p.m., 12 p.m.
Yes.
12.
Yes.
People
not
try.
12:01.
12.
Not 3 o'clock, not past posting at 6 o'clock. And this is the amazing part, Gia.
Yeah.
We've had people send in the contest entries late, like at 6 or 7 o'clock on a Saturday, and they still get the race wrong. That's a special kind of loser perk. All right. So this week's contest race, it's a 51,000 allowance claimer, optional claimer, field of 10, scheduled to go 5 furlongs right here on the all-weather track. Post time scheduled for 4:27 p.m. And for this week's restaurant, we marked the Lunchbox's first show that we ever did from the 305 this week. We did it at Our Better's Hot Dogs. Have you ever been to Our
Yes,
Better's?
I have.
What do you think?
I think they're fabulous, and I love that they drove Nathan's out of business.
Well, Dave was modest. He didn't want to say that they drove him, but
funny you knew that.
Nathan's opened a half mile down the block, and they never had a shot because when you go up
Our
against a
Better's.
like 65-year-old institution
Yeah, it
that
was
has
weird.
great chili dogs and all kinds of
They
fantastic
have every kind of
stuff.
dog.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Like Mike Mayo, I am from New York.
Okay.
Nathan's is a religion there. And where we come from, like they have set up Nathan's restaurants, like equipped with a full arcade. They don't have that here. It's mostly like a roadside,
Yeah.
kind of rest stop thing. So when I saw that Nathan's, and it's been my low-key dream to have a Nathan's franchise.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
when I
really?
saw,
Okay,
yes,
good for you.
always. I don't know why. I just
Really?
have like a
I
child.
love
love
Nathan's.
That's an
I
odd
can
goal,
see
but
that.
It
okay.
really is,
Nathan's
but
is
I've
great.
always wanted one. So then I saw that some guy actually got it together and opened one, and then decided to be that ballsy to do it right by
Yeah.
our betters. I'm like, what are you thinking? And then, but then, being a human being, I root for the underdog. I wanted our betters to win.
Oh,
I mean,
They're the-
as
in your mind.
much as I love Nathan's, and look, remember, I didn't grow up here.
I
I
root
didn't
for the
know.
locals. I always root for the locals.
As you should. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
an
yeah.
establishment that's been around. It's a family-owned business, from
Yep.
what I understand. They've
Yep.
been around forever. I mean, you can't let Big Hot Dog get in your way.
There's a joke in there, but
Good job by you. I love the restraint.
Have you been
Yeah,
to
good
Our
job.
Betters and you know their chili dogs?
No.
Okay, it's on Bird
Ooh.
Road. It's just past Tropical Park.
okay.
Steamed or grilled.
Steamed
I
or
mean,
grilled.
They have
Whether the pork beef combo, which is kind of like a softer dog,
or the all beef.
or the all beef sabrets that they grill up.
Yep.
It was we did a show there with Burger Beast, Seth Gonzalez, on Wednesday because we were a little late. We were going to do it the week before, but something came up. But to celebrate the 5th of July, after the big hot dog eating contest at Nathan's,
Yep.
where Joey Chestnut only ate 60.
he still won,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he did not.
He
he
went
really
under.
underdid
Yeah.
it.
62.
Yeah.
He was
He's slowing
underwhelming.
down with his
It was
age.
the
He's
rain
getting
delay.
old. Yeah,
He
the
did
rain.
say in practice that he's gone
Yeah.
to 80.
But he said he's, his official record, I think, is 75 or 76.
poor
It's
man.
just
Yeah.
incomprehensible.
Well, it's ridiculous.
But while we were at Our Betters, they kept feeding me, and I kept, during the show, that's a talent to shovel down
I
hot
get
dogs
5
in the
different
middle
hot
of
Yeah.
talking and speaking
I
on the
think
air.
I see
I
some
didn't- yeah, and I got
sauerkraut on your
Because
list
every-
there.
these headsets,
He had
you don't want
mustard
to
on the
examine them
headset,
with too fine of a microscope because there will be all manners of detritus. That's
There
one of my
you go.
favorite words.
Detritus?
Detritus
Wow.
will
There you
be
go.
on
Look at
these
you, man.
microphones. All right, we're back
So
to
we're in
the
the middle of
contest.
the hint. Yep.
Yeah, here we go. Thank you. I feel like Defo now. I took a little bit of a left turn. This week's restaurant, we marked the Lunchbox's first show from the 305, as well as salute our guest co-hosts, Perkins and Gia, who both live in the
Reside in the
305
305. Yep.
with a restaurant in the 305.
Good
so
man.
there we go.
There you go.
And we're really going to hone in on Perkins. Now, I've been out to eat to both of you, and I was going to do for the restaurant a place that me and you went that is a Michelin-starred restaurant.
Oh, yep.
Boya Day, but I
I've been
figured
there.
nobody would know how to spell it, and I'd have to disqualify everybody.
Do we even know if it's confirmed that it's pronounced Boya Day?
It is Boya Day.
Okay.
Because I know
He's
these
Mayo.
things.
He
Mayo
knows
knows
the
these
owner,
things.
and he
I'm kind
texts
of
him
an expert.
before he
Yeah,
goes.
God.
It's Alex and Lucia, they're a great couple.
Remember they
and,
recognized you.
they're terrific, and they've gotten all the again
Got a Michelin
well-deserved
star,
accolades, awards, James Beard Award nominations, Michelin star in Miami. They're killing it, and they just opened up a new place right next door in the same plaza that used to be another place. And it's a little bit bigger, but it's a little bit more of a, I guess, I don't even know what the concept is. But Boya Day is like an upscale modern Italian, which I love. But again, I didn't want to start having people figure out how to spell Boya Day, how to pronounce it.
Boya Day.
Boya Day. Chef Boya Day. It comes in a can, ravioli. No. So I'm going to a place that I've been to probably many times with Perkins. Not many times sober, though. So here we go. This North Bay Village restaurant and sports bar is known for its outdoor deck, casual vibe, and picturesque views of Biscayne Bay, and has been around for more than 30 years. That's clue number one. I'll give another
more
clue
than 30 years.
before
Yeah, do the
break.
first two.
Yeah. And number two, it made headlines a decade ago when its crowded deck collapsed into the bay during a Miami Heat playoff game.
no.
Nobody was seriously hurt. The deck was rebuilt, and the restaurant is still up and running, serving its famed chicken wings, raw oysters, and mahi sandwiches. So there you go. Those are the first two hints. North Bay Village with a deck that fell into the. Were you there that day, Perkins?
No, I was actually doing Channel 10 with Will Manso. That was during the finals in 2013.
Were they in San Antonio? Well, this was
against not Oklahoma.
It was the
Yeah,
Spurs.
Spurs. Yeah,
San
Spurs.
Antonio. Okay.
So yeah, that's the year that they beat them, and then they lost to them the next year. But
Yeah.
me and Will were supposed to do the post game, and they told us, don't even worry about it. We're covering this story for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
Because
honestly,
how
yeah.
often does a deck fall into the water and 10 people fell
And they
in,
got
or
everyone to
whatever
think,
it was?
Because
Yeah.
it also
I
happened
was
up
going to say
here
by us, yeah.
at Fort Lauderdale at Shooter's
Sure,
Restaurant.
yeah, I remember
a few
that.
Is that
years ago.
true?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that.
commercial.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I've
remember
been
that.
there before. Wow.
Water by the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Well,
multiple
that's one of the
sponsors in
hazards
that.
when you have these decks that have been around a long time. That
Well,
a lot of people are on them, and
Yes,
then eventually
it was
things wear out.
It was a poorly built deck.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's been strengthened.
Poorly built
Since which,
deck in Miami-Dade.
Go
What a
figure.
shock.
I
Go
know. Who would
figure.
have thought something
And-
like
and
that
as
would
I-
happen in that city?
as I recall, and I might be wrong on this, but I think, as I recall, one of the points of litigation was, well, who's actually responsible for that deck because it's out in the water. So we don't have to maintain it, and
Does that
maybe
fall
they have
under
to
rules of
maintain it.
maritime law?
I know
Oh my- is
exactly.
it really
It's not
maritime?
international waters. I
Right,
know a lot
exactly.
of Spanish is
Yeah.
spoken around there,
No,
but it is
that's
not
American. Yeah,
international
right.
waters.
Right.
And well, that's an interesting one. And that property is also
Yeah,
that'll be
it's
the next clue, but it's part of a hotel property that
Yeah.
recently was sold. So those are the first two clues. We're here. We're going to take our first break. I got to. Well, first of all, what do you think
Oh.
so far of the first dishes?
I have to
and
eat
did you
this.
We
see?
need
These-
Gia.
well,
the
these-
Gia
Gia
realize
is
we eat on
obviously
air.
not set in the
She's a
ways
pro.
of the
Yeah,
lunchbox.
yeah,
She
yeah.
hasn't gone
I
near
know.
food.
Me,
See, Perk
I'm
dove right
shoveling
in.
Oh, yeah.
everything.
You're eating and
Please.
talking. Gia's doing what Defo used to do and sitting nicely.
Yeah.
Look,
That's not what we do here.
I'm a trained broadcast professional.
Yeah.
And
I-
Mayo
proper.
broke us, and we'll break you. We
Yep.
eat on air on this show. That's actually, you'll eat classy, I presume. People do grade his eating because he eats like a slob on air and finds it funny.
It's
On air and
actually-
off air.
It's
Yeah.
become a selling point. Although I don't know what the chat line is
Lisa,
saying
the-
today.
I
Yeah.
watched you slide some pizza down
but-
your gullet the last time we did this together.
Yeah, I do these things,
Great.
but it's called
Hey.
the lunchbox. So we're supposed to eat lunch. I hope everybody out there is enjoying their lunch, getting ready for the weekend. We have the onion ring tower. That's like a deconstructed onion soup that's surrounded by some
And what a
cheese and onion soup broth.
This really does look
great
beautiful.
beefy flavor on
I've
those
got
onion
my-
rings with that broth.
Got my
the-
lemon pepper chicken
And
wings.
these wings are fried.
And we've got
to
more
perfection.
Nice, crisp, but
Crispy.
not dry.
And
Crispy.
light.
You know
And
me. I love my crispy.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about our friends at Tropical Acres Steakhouse
Yes,
now
sir.
because you know me. Have I ever been there with you, Perk? Because I got to take you there. I love
Yeah.
When we
Tropical
go, we need to bring
Acres.
Perk.
I love the summertime twin lobster special now. 2 steamed whole Maine lobsters, pound and a quarter. You get plenty of lobster meat. $39 with a salad and a side dish. You can't beat that at some of these other steak joints where they're, not only they charge you for every little thing, like if you try to order even now like a olive on the side of your
drink. Yep,
martini
you're paying for
or
that, yep.
the special big ice cube for your old fashioned, they're
Yep.
going to charge you an extra buck or two. Not that way at Tropical Acres. They are old school. Old school hospitality means they are there to please you, not gouge your eyeballs out. They are the best in customer service, quality, selection. The Studio Alley family place has been open since 1949. That's older than Defo,
Yep.
and they must be doing something right. Tropical Acres has half-price wine night Monday and Tuesday, half-price happy hour in the bar every weeknight, Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30. It's incredible gear. I get my Belvedere martinis there during happy hour. Guess how much?
$9.99.
$8.
What?
$16 regular price, half price on all the top shelf liquor. $8 from my Belvedere martini. No charge for the blue cheese stuffed olives. One of the many reasons I love Tropical Acres. Go there, 2500 Griffin Road, tropicalacres.com. You'll see all their lineup. They have all kinds of entertainment and other specials. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox live from Gulfstream Park's 10 Palms restaurant, where we will be giving away 2 vouchers to their legendary brunch. We are with the lovely Gia, the great Chris Perkins, and Mr. Mike Mayo, and myself. We'll be back with more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox right here from Gulfstream Park after this.
We got more food.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back here on the Lunchbox. We're at 10 Palms. We're joined today by special guest co-hosts, Gia and Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel. And, of course, on the mixing board and on the microphone, Mike Lubie.
So I'm just going to jump in for a second because we always love to incorporate our chatters.
Yeah, go ahead. What are they saying about
a famous chatter that is well known by Chris Perkins and now known by a lot of South Florida because we mock him every day, even though we love him.
Jim Sarney.
Jim Sarney's chimed in. Great job incorporating female host. Now let's talk U.S. Women's World Cup. I said, so thank you, Sarney. That won't be happening. And then he also said,
Women's Open. The Women's U.S. Open is at Pebble Beach,
well.
too.
Yes,
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about that. And Perk, he wants to remind you 10 Sundays until Dolphins. I don't know if it's preseason or the NFL, so which I'm sure Perk knows.
Yeah, that's got to be the opener at the LA Chargers.
Nice. So
I
wait,
think, right? Because they open like the first week of September. So
training camp begins
When
what,
next
July
week?
23rd,
26th.
26th.
Oh, wow.
And you know what we're going to do to mark the occasion, Mike Lubie Lubitz? We're going to go out to Shenanigans because Pat Utter, where you've been before. Pat Utter, a Dolphins super fan, and I texted him. I said we're going to do our monthly remote show at Shenanigans to celebrate the unofficial beginning of football season out there. And I'm sure he'll be filled with enthusiasm and optimism as opposed to me, who will be filled with cynicism and doom and gloom. We'll see what happens with two of this, two of that.
Are they down to one Shenanigans now, or is it?
Yes. Unfortunately, the original, it was a lease dispute where the landlord was being, I don't like to take sides in these things, but an unreasonable, greedy a-hole. And Pat, of course,
play that very diplomatically.
actually, I'm no longer at the Sun Sentinel, so I can take sides. And, obviously, I become friendly with Pat. He's a good man, and he built that.
That fettuccine Alfredo pizza, is that?
Wasn't it nice? Oh, the shrimp scampi
Shrimp
pizza. It's my
scampi
favorite.
pizza that he has.
Yeah, that's what
I just go for the classic burger.
Yeah, no, they do a good job with their wings and burgers are terrific. But the original one that he opened in the Emerald Hills district of Hollywood, right near TY Park, after 30 years, shut down earlier this year. It's still an empty space. So
after all that,
there you go.
We wonder whether the guy just wants everybody out of that plaza so he could knock it down and build another high rise or something. But we won't even get into that. All we know is that we love the one remaining Shenanigans, and Pat's really happier. His life is simplified. You don't have to run around in two different places. You just focus on the one.
Yeah, true.
They're really doing a good job there, and love going there, especially their drive-through, where you could just call in ahead and pick up your burger or your wings and just scoot on through with life. Very convenient there. Meanwhile, we're here. Perkins, a lot of people don't realize, me and him, we go way back. We used to travel together, and we used to like to, he cooks. He's a good, accomplished chef and grill master. He's from Texas originally. He likes his barbecue. So we've been on the road at different restaurants. What's your instant critique of the 10 Palms Seabass, the daily fish special?
Grilled to perfection, great flavor, flaky. The sweet potatoes, the purple sweet potatoes, excellent. the garlic broccoli.
Look at that! It is a
Amazing.
purple, like
Yes.
was
Yeah,
that
taste
called
it.
like a South American
The
yam or
Peruvian,
something?
I don't know.
A
It's not
Peruvian. Yes,
it's not
it's a
It's not a
Peruvian.
Peruvian potato, is it? This is a sweet potato.
It's I don't know what it is.
It's a
I
purple
mean,
sweet
Taste it.
potato.
Sometimes I get-
it's a sweet potato.
He
It's
is right. I think
100%
sometimes I
it's-
get
the
ice cream
consistency
that
looks
looks
sweet
like
potato.
this.
Yeah.
It's called the ube ice cream, which is
Oh,
like
the
a
one from Trader
Filipino
Joe's.
yam that you can find at our favorite Wilton Creamery in Wilton Manors. DJ has a ube ice cream that's purple. So
Yeah.
these are potatoes and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
sweet.
sweet. They're sweet potato.
Yeah,
It's
I think it's
100% a sweet potato.
Wow, you know, they're doing these little foodie touches here
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
that you just
impressive.
don't expect at a racetrack, to
Right.
be honest with
No,
you.
this is excellent. And again, those onion rings, just a great beefy onion soup flavor that, cooked to perfection.
I
Really.
took a human person's bite during the break.
As opposed to a mayo bite. Did you ever see a mayo bite?
I've seen. I've
don't
been
wanna see
watching
a
you
male
eat for
bite.
years. No, but like remember my professional training. I cannot possibly bring myself to eat like a person while being watched on a camera. But it's delicious. That I've never had anything like that before.
Well, good.
Where like this, what you said before, this deconstructed
Yep.
French
Onion
onion soup, but with onion rings. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And here I am with my mouth filled with food. Absolutely disgusting as usual. I had the French dip last week.
This thing is
It
good.
was delicious. I
Me
actually
too,
only
too.
had half, restrained myself, brought the other half home. Did I do that or no? I ate the whole
You
thing.
No, I think you ate the whole thing. I think
I'm
we didn't even get to
imagining
touch
things.
the thing. To be
And
brutally
Joe
honest.
Beja was telling us last week the origin of this dish. I guess while he was up in Baltimore, because he also oversees the food and beverage
Pimlico.
operations at the sister track up at Laurel and Pimlico. He was at a restaurant in the Baltimore area, and they served this, and he just, the sincerest form of flattery in the food business is just ripping it off entirely. And
Honestly, yeah.
so he put it on the menu here, and it's been a big hit. And I think it's a little bit different, and it's crunchy, and he has the soup at the bottom, so you could like dip it and get your little broth flavor, but while retaining the crunch of the onion rings. We love the food here at
yeah,
10
they do a great
Palms,
job.
and we welcome everybody to come on out and check it out. And we're going to be giving away another pair of the brunch
Yeah, you got one more
voucher
hint.
tickets. And let's just might as well get it in the books. Again, a contest. You got to pick the winner of tomorrow's feature race, the 8th race on the card here at Gulfstream Park. Numbers 1 through 10. There's 10 horses in the field.
Nice.
It's an allowance optional claimer. It is 5 furlongs on their all-weather track at 4:27 p.m. So you send that number along with the answer to this restaurant and then send it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, and you'll be in. And if there's more than one person that has the correct answer and the correct horse, we
do
go
the hat.
to the Monday tiebreaker. We'll be back Monday next week. We'll put the names in the hat. We'll pull a name out of the hat, and then that person will win a great brunch for 2 at 10 Palms here at Gulfstream. All right. We've already said
Remember, and again, it's MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. That's
Mike
people
Mayo
will
Eats,
ask that a lot.
not
so.
Mike Mayo Drinks. He does that
He does
too.
a lot of it, yeah.
But my
Work
Instagram
handles for
handle
Mike Mayo
and
Eats.
my email handle is MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. All right. North Bay Village Restaurant. That's Perkins' hometown. You've lived in
Nice.
North Bay Village how long now?
22 years.
Holy
Wow,
moly.
good for you.
And did you buy a condo, I
I
hope?
did. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good
so
man. that must be a nice.
working your way to paying it
Paying it
off,
now.
and it'll be a nice
He'll get
investment
some,
there.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
North
Chick-fil-A,
Bay
yeah.
Village Restaurant and Sports Bar, known for its outdoor deck, casual vibe, and picturesque views of Biscayne Bay. It's been around for more than 30 years. It made headlines a decade ago when its crowded deck collapsed into Biscayne Bay during a Miami Heat playoff game. Nobody was hurt. The deck was rebuilt, and the restaurant is still dishing out its famed chicken wings, mahi sandwiches, and raw oysters, which have to be something in order to open.
yeah.
Fans of this eatery, including Perk, are a little bit concerned because last December came the news that the Best Western Hotel that this restaurant is part of the property has been sold to developers, and plans call for a 30-story high-rise, just what Miami needs, more 30-story high-rises with a newly remodeled restaurant. But people wonder, will it keep the rare distinction as a waterfront Miami-Dade restaurant that doesn't require a second mortgage to pay the check?
That's so depressing. All
that
of
sucks.
that.
So
It's happening everywhere. We've talked a lot about
it's
that.
happening
And
everywhere.
I think this place is owned by the same people that own the Clevelander.
Is that
Oh,
true?
interesting.
I'm
Is that
pretty
true?
sure. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that it is.
I did
yeah.
not look into the ownership of it at this point. All I know is we're looking for the name along with a number 1 through 10 for tomorrow's feature race. And some of the horses in tomorrow's, I don't really see any kind of hunch plays for the food angle that I usually like. There is just a positive one, Happy Runner. Joe Orseno, our friend who trains for our buddy Joe Esposito of Cafe Seville, but Joe Orseno has a horse in called Happy Runner, 6-1. That's number 5. I didn't really handicap it yet, so I'm not going to give out a pick. I guess one of the favorites is Rockin' Roller, number 10, trained by Eddie Plisa, who's a good guy.
That's a great name.
Little Juanito
I like that.
is a 5-1 shot. That's number 3. It looks like the morning line favorite is the number 1. Make it simple. A Zarak, a Chilean horse. That's a horse bred in Chile, and not in Skyline Chile. But Zarak or Zarak is 5-2 morning line, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a long shot at 15-1. Ridden by Marco Meneses, but number 4, Barone Sesco, is trained and owned by one Danny Hertak, who pulled off a big 28-1 victory in the feature race, contest race a couple of weeks ago here, and we only had one winner. So the Danny Hertak horse is number 4, and Danny Hertak plays golf most days with our friend Will Mundy, who just retired and sold his restaurant, Mundy's Restaurant, in Dania Beach. So got
Look
some
at
news.
that full circle synergy right there.
There you go. That's why I am the professional that I am while I'm shoveling pizza in my face on the lunchbox. Take that, all you polished professional broadcasters out there. Let's have a discussion while I cram this into my mouth. Is anybody paying attention to Wimbledon anymore? Like, whatever happened to that?
I mean, it still happens every year.
Yeah, it's going on now, but I'm not paying attention. I paid attention to the French Open a little bit because it was going on when I was in Paris, and the people were flowing into the hotel, and you would see them up there, and they're telling their French Open stories. But no, I have not paid attention to Wimbledon at all.
Didn't Wimbledon used to end like before July 4th or right around July 4th? So why is it still going on?
I thought it was always going on at July 4th. That and the Tour de France, I thought, were the two events that are. I might be mistaken.
Yeah.
I might be mistaken.
I think they've elongated or kind of
pushed
made the
back.
schedule different.
If you really want answers, I can get someone on the phone right now.
No,
I have a buddy that is a rabid tennis watcher.
Well, Defo is. Defo's the.
Does he watch off-season tennis?
He
Because my
watches
friend does.
everything. He bets on tennis. That's how crazy he is.
There's something wrong about betting on tennis to me. It feels very dirty.
You know what? Actually, if I'm not mistaken, weren't there just a couple of tennis players that were nailed for match rigging? They were like lower, like seeded like 30 in the world or something, and they were popped for match rigging.
Can you cue the scene from Casablanca? I'm shocked that there's tanking going on in tennis. You'd never see a player who's top ranked who's getting appearance money to show up in some scrub location, let's say $200,000, and all of a sudden, he pulls his groin and he has to withdraw in the second round.
Is no sport pure anymore?
No.
Well, I don't know.
You can't. Highlight it.
There's still a purity.
Yeah, for now.
No. ESPN is going to start televising it. So once the money comes in, right, then the corruption follows, right?
When Stephen A. starts screaming about pickleball,
That's it.
well, I've already reached that point where I just don't pay attention to ESPN or most sports.
Right.
I do pay attention to the ponies, though, because it's one of the rare places. And this is the beauty of Gulfstream Park. And I've said this many times. When you go out to Hard Rock Stadium to watch a Dolphins game, when are you ever leaving with more money in your pocket? I'm not talking about on some betting app or something, but like when you physically go onto the grounds, and maybe you're going to have a credit card, but between the parking, the ticket, getting the beer that is like $16 and getting a hot dog that's $12, you're sunk. Talk about being in a ditch. You can't climb out of that hole. Here you come to Gulfstream and 10 Palms, you have yourself a lovely lunch, reasonably priced menu, and then you go to the windows like I just did, and I plunged on the first race because I happen to like the number 7 horse. He's 3-1. I also like the 1 horse a little bit, so I did a nice exacta box 1-3-7, and I could actually leave here today not with just a full belly, but with a full pocket, and that's one of the things that You can knock it all you want, but I do enjoy a good wager now and then. Huh?
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah,
Good luck
There you go. Yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
I like that.
So that's what we
That is the
do
deal
when
with
we
the
come
thing.
out here at Gulfstream. Hey, let's take another break, and then
Okay.
we'll talk. I'm going to throw it to you guys as far as things you've been eating, cooking, restaurants you
We
like
just had a
down in
holiday. I'm curious
305.
what their 4th of Julys were like. We can talk about that.
And we'll do that after I talk about one of my favorite places for when I am cooking and doing a cookout. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood. It is also another old school classic place run by Doug Carter and his crew. It's been there since the also late 50s, an institution in Hollywood. And anybody that is familiar with it will sing its praises because, again, talk about price, quality, service, selection. You go in there, they have the full poultry case with all the different fresh chicken parts, great things that you could throw on the grill, the wings and the breasts and the thighs, and they have the
Nice
butcher's
piece of
department.
fish, like porchetta day. You can definitely found there.
The seafood is. I was building to the seafood. You got the steaks and they have all these fancy hot dogs now, the Wagyu and the Kobe hot dogs, the beef brisket blend, the burgers, which are so great, steaks and pork. But then you go over to the left side and all that fresh seafood and fish and, things like grouper from the Gulf Coast and the snapper from the Keys, Key West pink shrimp. And as soon as it's going to be Florida lobster season. We love Delaware. It's at 4191 North State Road 7. Have you been there?
I haven't. And I used to live in Hollywood.
You missed out because it
Great
is
place.
They do a great job.
Great
they have
place.
so much great product.
I mean,
and
it's still available to me, to be
Yeah, it's
fair.
right
Like, I
there.
can
No,
drive
no,
up there,
it's-
like you missed out.
It's not far. It's not that. It's pretty
right
nice
across from
located.
the old Seminole Classic Casino. There's a big
Okay.
chicken on the roof, so you can't miss it. But right there, State Road
Right on
7,
441. Yeah.
just south of Sterling Road. And DelawareChicken.com is the website. You can check out all their weekly specials and daily offerings. Go there. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
This is our weekender edition, our weekend beginning edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox live from Gulfstream Park with Gia, Chris Perkins, more of Mr. Mayo.
That.
I was going to say that. You beat me to the punch. And I'm here, Mike Lubie. We'll be back right here from Gulfstream Park, 10 Palms after this.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. This August, Visit Lauderdale invites everyone under the sun to indulge in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale promotion. This year's options will be more diverse than ever, with fine dining restaurants, casual eateries, and even your favorite cafes and ice cream parlors part of the mix. From August 1st through 31st, scores of restaurants will be offering multi-course meals at discounted prices starting at just $45 per person. Diners can also enjoy sweets and treats, brunches, happy hour specials, and exclusive culinary experiences. This year's lineup includes 3030 Ocean, Foxy Brown, and Lasso Gaucho in Fort Lauderdale, Even Keel Fish Shack and Aruba Beach Cafe in Lauderdale by the Sea, Cafe Max in Pompano, The Cook and the Cork in Coral Springs, Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, and more. Restaurants are being added by the day. For the full Dine Out Lauderdale lineup and all the details, go to dineoutlauderdale.com. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day, open 7 days until late, parking available on site. Happy hour weekdays, 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at arubabeachcafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you.
Well, we're back here at Gulfstream. We're feasting on a great lunch, and I had a bite of Perkins seabass.
It's the one thing we really haven't had, and
it's good.
Like everything else.
They really nailed it, and it's the deli fish special. They do that. We're getting ready for the first race here at Gulfstream.
I love that Perk's getting in on the action.
I have pounded
I
on.
thought he was stressing out because of work. I'm like, you got to go. He's like, no, I'm just trying to get a freaking bet in.
Here's what I don't like is I scoped out the 7. I really liked it. It was 4-1. 5-1 in the morning line, opened at 4-1. Now is down to the 7-5 favorite.
Chalk eating pig.
And the track handicapper, we know she's been on the show. We like Samantha,
she's
friend
great.
of the show, has put a 7-1-3 as her first 3 finishers. And of course, my 3 in my box are 7-1-3. So I probably have 0.0 chance at this point, but they're going to run the race.
I just threw some money on the 2 horse.
You'll be fine, Mayo.
I have 1 minute to post.
Before we get to, I want to let Gia and Chris Perkins talk about some of their, food finds lately in the 305. We don't really concentrate much in the Let's Eat group. It seems like most of the people are from the 954 and 561 areas, but we do want to hear about the 305. But before that, I want to ask a question. This week, it happened at a doctor's office where I had to take my mom for something. It was a 10 a.m. scheduled appointment, and it made me think about restaurants and their reservations of like, how long would you wait at a restaurant past you already made a reservation before walking out and saying this isn't working? Because what's the point of a reservation if you have to wait around X number of minutes? And then I will ask you, have you ever walked out of a restaurant after X number of minutes? And would you ever walk out of a doctor's office after X number of minutes? I'll start with you, Gia.
I would stay at the doctor's. I'd be angry, but I wouldn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
A restaurant, I would go by typical social rules. Anything over 15 minutes.
Okay.
I was trying to eat.
You did a good job. I'm proud of you.
You
got to be multitasking, which women are usually very good at.
And Mayo's not.
And Mayo's not. I'm going to get right on there.
Doing a show and committing a homicide. That's
doctors,
multitasking.
You know what? I've answered your question. Move on to Perkins.
No, okay. So you wait for the doctor because it's a professional.
I mean, I'm there for a purpose.
Okay.
I mean, I could eat anywhere.
Perkins,
Doctor.
What was your answer on how long until you walk from not just walking in to get a walk-in, but from a reservation?
As with most things with me, it's on a sliding scale. There's no concrete rule. It depends on what restaurant I'm at. Have I eaten there before? How badly do I want to eat there? Am I sitting at the bar? Am I drunk? Yeah. So, the doctor's office, I will say this. I would probably walk out of the doctor's office before a restaurant.
Wow. And what would the number be?
Oh, at the doctor? Ooh, probably 45 minutes.
Really? That's it?
Then you're
a
lucky man.
Yeah. We're not going to get into my health.
So here's what happened with Mom. And it was, it's like an urgent matter that she needs to be seen. So it's frustrating, but it was a 10 a.m. appointment. It was the day after the 4th weekend. So obviously it's a little bit crazy and maybe there's some emergencies. But for a 10 a.m. appointment, we didn't get shown into the office till 11:08. So it was 68 minutes, and then we didn't actually see the doctor till about 11:30. So about 90 minutes passed. But again, when you're at the mercy of a professional, And not to root or anything, but the 7 is going to whistle. I need the 3 to get up for second
Talking
to
about your
complete my
mom at
big
the doctor.
exacta. Come on, 3. Come on, 3.
Need
No,
Three's gotta
no,
hold
the 2 is
two.
coming.
it's the-
No,
I think
he's
it's
a
the
Get up
four.
handpick.
two. Get up two. Get up
Oh,
two.
he's got a
Get up
7-2.
two.
I
I don't even know what
Two
happened.
might have been third.
I don't know what happened in second. All I know is I have a big win ticket, so that's something. This is what happens. I eat during the show. I gamble during the show. And where were we? You would walk out after 45 minutes.
Do
of
you?
the
You went back
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
mother, and how long you were waiting
Yeah,
for?
I think
her?
We
68
waited.
minutes.
We waited for it was
Yeah.
basically for 68
How much
minutes.
time did the doctor, in fact, spend with you and your mother?
Was it more than 10
enough.
minutes?
Okay.
And that's when I understood
Okay.
and I got better, even though I was more than an hour late
Because-
to our actually 40
there are
minutes
better
late
ones,
to
yeah.
the remote show. But
See, that's
anything from,
interesting. And I heard because I once waited. So Perk must have the greatest luck ever at doctors because until maybe recently, it was automatic. You were waiting an hour, like automatic.
past
like,
the
yeah,
appointment
yeah,
time.
just
Okay.
sitting there waiting an hour.
right.
So the fact that he won't even wait 45 minutes, good for you.
He's got some good.
I waited at
doctors.
least an hour. I remember waiting over an hour, and it was like for a physical. It wasn't even anything like I didn't need to do it in my 20s. Waited over an hour, go to the room. All right, good. I'm gonna see the doctor. Waited there an hour
Yeah.
to the point where I'm like, I'm here. They're like, okay. No one checked on me. No one said anything. And the doctor was with me for 2 minutes.
Yep.
So I was there, I think I totaled 2.5 hours and then 30 minutes to pay or whatever.
No, the
2.5
process.
hours. Like I would just block. If I had to go to the doctor, I'm
Right.
blocking my day off.
Right. You
go
lose
to the
half the
doctor.
day.
It's
You just say.
absurd
right.
now. And the last time I did the physical, it was the same thing. I waited forever. They did come to check on me, but then not only does she come in an hour after my scheduled time, but she brings in, without asking my permission, a bunch of students.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
bunch of
I've
like,
had that
oh,
happen.
so these people are, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
4 of them, and I'm thinking like, this exactly like,
Hello.
it's a very intimate,
Right.
personal thing, your relationship with your doctor. I don't want to talk to a bunch of people that I don't know and just,
Right.
whatever.
Well, all right. No.
She
And,
didn't even, you know what she didn't do though? She
it's-
didn't tap my knee. She didn't do the
with the
reflex.
hammer?
Tap
Yes.
the knee.
Gotta
And
get
I don't
them.
know that the child.
You're
Really?
lucky. Look, first of all, they make us cough sometimes, but you're a woman, so you wouldn't know
Yeah.
about that.
No, I would. I've
No.
heard
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
And
Certainly
then
did.
do yourself a favor. I mean, I know, women and men are different.
Yeah.
But just thank your lucky stars that you don't have a prostate and you'll never
Yeah.
have to have a prostate biopsy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting to that
is
age,
the
so
Worst,
I'm a
the,
little nervous
the
about
biopsy. Not the prostate exam is
Yeah.
one thing, but the biopsy is something else.
Lunch is
Not-
delicious.
Right,
Exactly.
How did we get here? But getting back to how long you wait at a restaurant, like if I have
Restaurant's
if I
weird.
have an 8:00 reservation, all right, it's a popular place on a Friday night.
Right.
Okay. If they're not seating me by, what did I say? I had a 7:00 reservation.
Okay.
If I'm not seated by 7:30, this is
You'll
the whole
leave.
point of a reservation
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
If they're not buying me a drink at the bar to kind of compensate or just make good on what they're supposed to be doing, I'm walking out basically after 45 minutes past the reservation time.
I also do find it interesting that if you show up late to your own reservation, whether or not that table is necessarily
charge you.
available,
Oh,
they'll
they'll
either
cancel.
charge you
Or
or they're like,
cancel.
oh,
Right.
whoopsies,
Yeah,
sorry
yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
So it's a one-way street.
It's one way.
Yep.
I went to Foxy Brown last week
Nice.
in Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And
Elliot
I-
Wolf, the be nice people. So let's be nice.
let me tell you, that restaurant, phenomenal.
Oh,
I
great.
had
Oh, good.
I thought it was going to go the
No.
other way.
We like
No,
that.
but what I
we
did
always
notice-
try to stay on Elliot's good
No,
side.
they were they were amazing. I mean, hands down, everything, even the honey bread at the start, it's just perfect service. But when I made the reservations through Open Table, I didn't think anything of it. I went to go check my bank account later that day, and I realized that they took a
They
hold.
charged you to hold it.
It was
Oh,
like Broward,
really?
blah blah blah. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like,
Yep.
this is
Wow.
what they're doing now.
Yep.
They didn't ask me for my credit
No.
card, but it's clearly registered, as prior payments
Yep.
through Open Table. I'm like, I get it. I
Yeah.
kind of respect it. I also think it's a little bit of a
It
dirty
sucks.
hustle, but these places have to eat too.
Yeah, and a lot more of these places are getting stricter with.
Okay, well, let me ask you, and I'm more with Perk on the
cancellations.
sliding scale thing
Oh, yeah.
because I hate waiting. I'm a South Floridian. I don't want to wait for anything. But the one time we went to Prime 112, it's a big group. We had a reservation. It's a Friday night, which
Well,
has got to be
that's
the
one of
worst
those
freaking night.
Fancy. I mean, one of
With a
those.
reservation, we
one of
waited
those
over an
Miami
hour with
trendy-
a reservation. But you have 10 people here. You can't leave. And it was a business dinner for my wife.
Okay.
So I'm the one she has to look. She's dealing with clients. So I'm going every 10. She's giving me the look every 10 minutes over
Oh, you're
an
the
hour.
errand boy.
Yeah, of course. Over an hour.
Right.
Like you can't leave. Like where do you
Right.
go with 10
You're trapped.
people?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
stranded.
Yeah.
And again, that's one of the many reasons I hate going out in big groups. And
Yeah.
I always beg off anything bigger than 6. I say, oh, I'm not feeling well. I can't go.
May I
Just-
follow
interesting.
up
That's
on the
interesting.
big group concern here?
Go ahead.
What do you do when you have a large party of people and the bill comes?
Oh,
Right, we were
Mayo's the
talking about
king
this,
man.
Yes,
I
it
was
is.
assuming
The
you've
whole
discussed
split
this
check,
before.
separate check. Okay, if you're going out in a big group,
And obviously not on a business trip, because on a business trip,
Yeah,
you
That's
don't really
that's
care.
a corporate
Personal.
party
Yeah, everyone's
situation.
fighting.
I'm
Everyone's
talking-
fighting for the
Personal.
points.
Those were the
Yeah.
I'm
days.
talking about
Yes.
buddy's birthday party.
Right.
I'm talking, just
Yes,
like let's
good
all
point.
get together.
Good point.
And we're sitting at a long table. The bill comes.
if it's a place that doesn't do the separate check thing right at the beginning, and there are these chains
There
now,
are.
like Brio, Tuscan Grill, the Italian chain. Like if you go in with a big group and you just say, we just want separate checks
The
for
splitter from
each
day
two,
one, yeah.
for each party of two. They do it. Their system now is they have these pads. They can do it. It's not a big deal. But when you go to like a slightly kind of more upscale place and it's like old school where their waiters still
Yep.
doing pen and pad, you know what? You got to bite the bullet and eat and drink to your heart's content. Don't be that
Don't
couple
worry
that
about
says
you had a
we
drink."
didn't get the good wine and we only had one iced tea. Like when you're in for a 10, whatever the number is, right? What
So
do
you
you
might
think?
as well get your part.
Now, I think that what you say is true, but there's always inevitably a situation where someone will be that person. Well, we are not
Lose their
drinking
number.
tonight. What?
Lose their
Yes,
that's right.
We're not drinking
Yes.
tonight. Why should I have to pay for all 4 bottles
100%.
of wine? Why am I doing this? We didn't get an appetizer. We just got an entree.
Yeah, hate
Or,
those people.
you won't do
I hate those people. I never
I
go
used
out
to
with
be
them
one of those
again.
people.
I lose their
That's
number.
my
You
wife.
can't hang out
Right.
with the gambling gourmet.
But then-
Gambling gourmet if
okay.
you're going to be a cheapskate.
I
Okay.
get it, but then ultimately somebody might not eat. Oh, we
Yeah.
just have cash, and then everyone is bad at math. It makes me crazy. I've been in situations where it's taken over an hour
we've talked
to
about
divvy
this
this
Oh,
up.
all week.
I hate big groups. Okay, but I like to be the guy. First of all, because my business now is eating out, so everything that I spend in a restaurant is usually
You can-
it goes on my
It's
business
tax
card.
Right.
deductible.
It's tax deductible. So what I love is like I'll put it on my card if the people
Yeah, you
have
get the
cash.
points,
Just
right?
give me all the
Right,
cash,
right,
and then I
exactly.
go right to the casino, and it's like great.
Oh my God.
And speaking of which, guess what happened? The one got up for second. I hit it all. I have
Nice.
a $5 exacta.
Perk
I have a
screw.
$1 exacta. I have $10 to
Matsu
win.
came in.
Oh, nice.
He came in third.
Yeah, no, I got it.
So I
Came
got-
in
I got-
7-1. I
I
know
did a win
everybody
by
out
show.
there is riveted by whether I'm going to win or
What's
lose.
your final take?
My final take, I don't know,
He doesn't
10 to
know yet.
win
He
and a
doesn't know
$6 exacta, and I'm
You
dead
know.
in the double. I don't have the
Let me
daily
see.
double, but there it is.
He
It's
doesn't
right
know the
there.
payout yet.
So I don't know the payout yet, but
You
you
know
know what? It's a good time to
Do you wanna
maybe
talk about
say
one more
goodbye.
group?
Oh yeah, we got
Well,
to talk about.
let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
You've got to screen your dinner guests. Like I will not. If no, I'm serious. I'm
I
serious.
like that. We haven't talked
That
about
is the last time. I don't go out with people who do that crap. I really
Oh,
don't.
that's
I mean,
fine.
now if they're family members, that's
What are
different.
you gonna do?
But I really don't. I'm 100% because that ruins my whole
Okay,
night.
how do you
Like,
screen them? How do you screen them?
You
Well,
can't.
I'm gonna-
you
I-
have to wait.
No,
and
I
was gonna say-
it costs you.
but you. I mean, you like if I've been out with them before.
Okay.
And they pulled this. That's the last time because
Oh,
I can't
wow,
I
one
can't
and
have a
done.
good time.
I
You ruined my
think
buzz.
that if you're-
We're having a good time.
Let's say it's my birthday and I'm inviting 20 people out. I'm not expecting them. I would think that if I'm
If it's my
doing this,
birthday, I don't want to have to pay a dime.
See,
Everybody
that's
should
the
spend
thing.
it
But
to
if
me.
you want to avoid this discomfort, just pay the damn bill. It's my
Oh, pay the
birthday.
whole
I've
bill. Good for
invited
you.
you.
Good for you.
And that's why I don't
I
have,
would do that, but good
tons
for
of
you.
people coming up for my birthday. But I feel like that's kind of like the more like socially responsible thing.
Oh,
I've also
100%.
been invited to the movies, by another person, then asked to pay my fair share of the ticket that I didn't purchase. Like there are just certain social rules about
Right.
these things that make me absolutely crazy, and that it prevents me from enjoying myself.
That's what Ed's saying, yeah.
When you go out with friends, like your long-term friends,
Yeah.
do you keep track of, well, you bought the wine last time and you
No.
paid for it? Right.
No,
No,
That's
but
how it
it's
should
like,
be.
I got
do.
it.
But-
I got it. What do you have, a booklet?
No, because there's one guy who's always trying to put one over on me,
See?
like, and then it's
But you
like,
keep going out with them though.
Right.
See, I get perks points.
so.
Why put yourself through
Right.
having to
So
fight
And
with
then
this
let me.
person?
I'm going to throw under the bus
Is
one
there
of my
something to
poker
complain
buddies, Dan. Okay, so this is kind of in the similar vein of. Last week we were at a tournament. There's 3 of us who are buddies, and these guys have both cashed big numbers in the last few months.
Thousands of dollars.
Willie
right
and Danny. I'm gonna
there. Yeah,
name
we
names.
mentioned that.
Me and Willie, like I went up to buy the first round. There's a bar right across from where the poker room is at the Hard Rock. Me and Willie, we both drink old fashions with rye. So me and Willie get an old fashioned, and Dan only drinks draft beer. He likes the Cigar City IPA, right? I say I have the first round. I said we'll do rounds.
Yeah.
Then Willie buys the second round. And then when it's Dan's turn at the end, first of all, he'd just gotten busted out. He bought in 3 times. He was in a bad mood. But he's like, why should I have to pay for the old fashions? They're triple the price of or the double the price of the beer. I was like,
They
well,
buy your
then
drink.
start drinking old
Yeah,
fashions.
right. Cost of doing business. Exactly. Cost of doing business. Right.
All right. Hey, I got to put in the good word for our friends at Dine Out Lauderdale.
Yes.
It's coming up August 1st through 31st in Greater Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. There are scores of restaurants, almost 100 signed up already for this year's event. And if you're a restaurant, it's not too late. You can still sign up. Go to the dineoutlauderdale.com website and you could download an application. And this year, they want it to be just like Visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun. They want every restaurant under the sun. So it's not just the fine dining establishments that are going to be offering the multi-course meals for $45 or $55, but they also want the cafes, the ice cream parlors. Jackson's is creating a special Sunday. They're all going to be putting together some special deals, brunches, lunches. You go to the dineoutlauderdale.com website. You'll see all the participating restaurants, and they're being added by the day along with what they're offering. It's going to be a great time in August. Best time of the year for dining out, especially in Lauderdale. Dineoutlauderdale.com for all the details. All right, guys, I think we got through a show.
Thank
I
you
can't
so
believe
much for
it.
putting
It's so
up with us.
quick.
I hope somebody has my tickets because I don't have them anymore. Oh, she pocketed them.
That's
Oh,
good for her.
She's saving for a wedding.
I put them
There you go.
Right.
I was
Oh, man.
hoping you would notice.
This is going to go for the great
That's great.
servers here at Gulfstream. We had another fantastic time. We're going to be back next week. Defo should be back
We're
on
back
Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Hopefully. We've got some road shows scheduled for next week. Next Wednesday, we're going up to our friends in Delray Beach, Bert and Max's,
Yes.
part of the Rappaport restaurant group. We'll be out there Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to be at Gilbert's 17th
Yeah,
Street
return
Grill.
engagement.
Great
That was
burgers
great.
with Lenore and Richie and Beth. And I think Burger Beast might show up there
Yeah,
too.
I can't
'cause
wait.
Anytime there's burgers around, he shows
He's
up.
just sort of there.
And of course, next Friday we'll be back right here.
And don't
at
forget to
Gulfstream
do
Park.
the contest again.
Yes.
MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by 12 o'clock tomorrow.
That's it. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a great weekend. And remember to enjoy everything, including every sandwich.
Reach, gentlemen,